I've got the new Lorac Mega Pro 3 to share with you guys today, and I purchased mine off of the Ulta website, and I'm assuming I must have paid $59 for it, since that's what the sticker says. Now, this is a limited edition eyeshadow palette, and there are 32 eyeshadows in here, 16 of which are matte and 16 which are shimmer, and the total amount of, well, the net weight that it's stated on the box, it doesn't break it down by pan, it just says the total net weight is 0.45 ounces, which breaks down to be 0.014 ounces per eyeshadow. And if memory serves me correctly, that is the smallest amount of product per pan that I have seen in a Lorac Pro palette. If you happen to know or have the others, feel free to let us know down below if that is incorrect. The amount of product that you're getting per pan is quite small. Like normally I think of a 0.02 ounce pan to be quite small, and this is 0.014 ounces, so it's even smaller than that. Now, I don't have any of the other Pro palettes to compare for you guys today because I got rid of them. I just was not using them. I'm not the biggest fan, or I haven't been the biggest fan of the Lorac Pro matte eyeshadow formula. I really like the unzipped 1 and 2 palettes. Those are really nice, but in the something about the Pro formula was really finicky for me, and I just didn't like to have to worry about whether or not it was going to work that day or not, you know what I mean? It says both on the box and on the palette itself that this was assembled in the US of US and non-US materials. The packaging of the palette is cardboard and has a magnetic closure. It's the same as the first Mega Pro 1 and Mega Pro 2 palettes that came out, and it does have a relatively large mirror, and it flips all the way back like so. I've used this palette 3 times so far, and I did do a demo with the eyeshadows that are on my eyes right now, which will be towards the end of the video if you're interested in that. And I must say that out of all the Pro palettes that I've used so far, that the mattes in this palette have been my favorite in the line. They're by no means my favorite matte eyeshadow, but they're better than the others that I've tried. And I do feel like they blended out nice today. I did have to do a little bit of layering after I did a little bit of blending, so like a build and blend type of situation. They do have a tendency to be a little bit more finicky than something that I would like, but when I did, I kind of, proceeded with caution and, took my time a little bit more to blend them and pack them on. And for me, that seemed to yield the best result. And so far, all of the shimmer shades that I've used are really soft, and they're really pigmented, and they look really, really pretty on the lid. The choice of colors in this particular palette has been my favorite this far as well, so I'm happy that I like the mattes in this one, or they work better for me than any of the previous Pro palettes, because I really like the colors in this. I also had a little bit of fallout with some of the shades. It wasn't a super duper huge amount, but I was kind of careful about picking them up because these shadows are quite soft, so I just gently tap my brush in there. If you were to go to town and pick up and do something real quick, I kind of have a feeling that you might get a little bit more fallout on your face. And then again, some of the mattes was like, for me, was a pack and blend type of situation. I was kind of worried at first there that, once I, put the color on and started to blend it out and kind of seeing a line, that once I went to go in with another shade to kind of cover that up, that it wasn't going to adhere, but it did. So I was happy about that. Anyway, let me go ahead and zoom up close and give you guys some swatches. Here is the palette up close, and you got your mirror in there, and then here are your shadows. So the top 2 rows are all your mattes, and the bottom 2 rows are all your shimmers. Again, nice range of transition shades, matte highlights, dark crease shades, and then the same thing with the shimmers. You got some nice lights, medium tones, and then also some darker shades. Let's do 4 across the top. We'll start, let's do it that way. You know what I mean? So that mirror in the reflection is kind of annoying, but so you can see nice pigmentation on these guys. Those are the first 4 mattes, and then these next 4. I wore these 3 shades right here yesterday, and they were really pretty. So that is the top row of matte eyeshadows. Starting on the second row of mattes. Some of these are just so soft to the touch. And the last 4 mattes. Now we'll dip into these shimmer shades. I think I got this guy on the lid, in the middle of the lid today. Yeah, you do. I've got both of these shades on today. And the next four. Oh, so pretty. So that is the first row of shimmers. And then the second row of shimmers. Some of these are just so soft. And then the last four. I wore this shade the other day too. It was really pretty. So that is the last row of shimmers in the palette. I actually wasn't going to purchase this palette at first, and then I kind of caved, and now I'm glad I did because I do really like the color layout in here, and I'm happy to report that the Lorac Pro mattes in this palette are better than, or I feel like they blend and build better than any of the Lorac Pro mattes that I've tried prior to this guy. I sort of feel like swatching them, I might have used up half the pan because they're so small, but other than that, I think it's a pretty nice palette. Now, if you're interested in seeing a couple of these eyeshadows perform in the look that's on my eyes, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. I already primed my eyelids from the lash line to up underneath the brow. Now I'm going to take a Hakuhodo S133 brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Cider. I'm going to put that one on, I'm going to put it, let's start at the center and see. Yeah, I'm going to put this guy in the center of the lid. Using the side of that same brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Kava, which is right next to Cider. And I'm going to put that one in front of the Cider shade and blend it in. Same brush again, I'm going to go into the shade Brown Sugar. And I'm going to put that guy on the outer portion. Some of this like powder is kind of sprinkling into my eyelid and it kind of like stings. I'm going to use a Chikuhodo GSN 9 and I'm going to go into the shade Hickory, which is one of the mattes. I'm going to use this guy in the crease because it's kind of got like a slight cooler, almost a purpley tone to it. Thought it'd be fun to kind of offset those warm tones. On a Hakuhodo J5523 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Pecan, which is like, it's like a peachy brown matte color. Start blending out this shade. Oh, that wind. Now I'm going to use a Hakuhodo BJ142 brush, which is just like a blender. And I'm going to go into the shade Tan. And I'm going to kind of put that lightly above the shade we just put down and just kind of buff this. Oh, I can kind of see that line of dark. I'm going to have to go over that. I'm going to go back in with that Hakuhodo 5523 and dip it back into Pecan and start kind of overlapping this some more. That kind of buffed away a bit. Now I'm going to use the Chikuhodo GSM-10 and I'm going to dip into the shade Crepe, which is a kind of a, it's a warm light matte highlight shade. I'm going to put this guy underneath the brow. I'll blend this in here too. So there's the eyeshadow done. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I've got the Victoria Beckham and Estee Lauder lip pencil, and this is in 01 Victoria. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with this guy. And then to fill them in, I've also got the Victoria Beckham and Estee Lauder lipstick, and this is in 01 Brazilian Nude. This is the first time I'm wearing either of these products, but I'm gonna really, it's not like super sheer, but it's a little bit less sheer than the lip liner, so I'm gonna really mush it into the lip liner. There's the overall finished look using the new Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.